Heidi ho, good neighbors. This is Private Citizen coming at you again. I bought a new battery for my 2018 Goldwing, and so today I'm just going to go over with you installing it. Now I know there's other videos on there. Cruise Man's Garage has a video that he put out, I think not too long ago, on how to install on how to install a battery. So you might want to check that out for specifics. And there's probably other videos online on YouTube that do that. This video is more specifically to go over the NLP 20 type battery made by NOCO. Now, I know they make battery tenders and things like that that people use. And this is a lithium battery. I know that a lot of people are also talking about switching over to lithiums. So in my car I have one and I haven't had any problems with it at all. So I'm assuming that I won't have any problems with this also in the bike. And again, it is a lot lighter than a regular battery. This might be like, I don't know, 4 pounds maybe, something like that. I don't know if it says on the box. But yeah, let's open it up and see what's in there. Ta-da! That's what it looks like. And of course it is shrink wrapped. The magic knife. Okay. Let's see how to open this thing up. It appears to be, looks like a slide out. Okay. And here you go. That's what it looks like out of the box. So you get the battery, Allen key, a really thick instruction manual, and some foam padding. And I thought there were more pads in here than this from the other videos I've seen online, but there's just one pad. This guide is in multiple languages. So here's the English portion. That's the part I need. This is the part I don't. Okay. And it comes with 4 different sections of varying size, of varying thickness. So you can adjust the actual completed height of the battery, so it will fit in your compartment. Also, I guess, I don't know if it's of any use, but if you do have to use this many pieces on the bottom, there's a space inside. I don't know whether it's good to store, I don't know, manual or something else you could put in there. But okay, but yeah, wait, where did these come from? Extra pads. I hope you guys are watching the video and found out where these showed up from. I didn't have them a second ago and now they're there, so maybe they were hiding inside the battery or on top. But that's what I'll be doing today. Replacing my old battery with this one. I was having problems with my old battery. It is a 2018 Goldwing Tour DCT. It was a leftover. I bought it in, I think it was 2020. So I don't know whether it's because it sat for a couple years at the dealership in the box or in a crate, or maybe the cold weather, I don't know, but it doesn't keep a charge long. I first noticed it was an issue when I took a trip to a store. It was about a 30-minute trip, went inside, came out, went to start the bike, and it was like really rough turning over and wouldn't start. I waited like a minute and then tried it again, and it did kick on. But then I had the engine warning light, which, as you may or may not know, if that does happen to you, it will go away after you ride for a while and turn it off. I don't know whether the bike has to be off and on, cycle, ignition off, ignition on, at least 3 times. But there needs to be twice or 3 times, but there needs to be some sort of riding distance, I believe, in between. I'm not sure. I didn't really work out the specifics on exactly what's required to remove that. But I know you have to start, the bike has to be started at least multiple times. And I think you have to ride. Because in my particular case, I pulled over on the side of the road, turned it off, turned it back on, it was still there. I rode another like 5 miles, stopped, turned the bike off, turned it on, and the engine warning was no longer there. So here's the post to the top. So this screw holds the post in, and then here are multiple connecting points. So if I need to connect here, I use this screw. If I need to connect here, I use this screw to connect here on the side, so forth. Again, the positive is on the right side of the battery, which is correct for a Goldwing, and this part also comes off. The hex key size for this is not the same as this, so I can't take it off right now. But if you need to, this will come off, so you get that indent that most batteries have, the lead acid. So that's it. Thanks for watching this part, and stay tuned for the installation and possibly a long-term review on how I like it, how it does in the cold. All right, thanks. All right, this is PrivateCitizen, and we're going to continue on. We're going to install this battery, the NOCO Lithium. It is a NLP 20. So as you've probably seen online, in order to get to the battery compartment, you have to open up the left saddlebag. I wanted to show everybody here. This is where I actually plug in my charger, my battery tender. There's a cover. It was a plug, a dummy plug. I just cut off the cords and then put some liquid tape on there. And I just use it to keep the connectors from getting fouled, and I just tuck it inside here and it stays out of the way. But yeah, you want to just remove this. Okay, and then there's the battery. Here you can see the charge cable. So first thing I'm going to do is remove these 2 fuses, try to get them out of the way. If it cooperates. Which it is not. So the tabs are on the top and the bottom, not so much the left and right, it looks like. So I'm squeezing the top and the bottom. And there you go. Alright, so that's out of the way. And this is a 10mm socket. Just to make this a little faster. Okay, that's one screw. There's a couple push rivets. Push them in. Boom. Boom. Move. Whoops. That's one out. It's two out. And the other, there's one screw under here, which is kind of hard to see. But there's a slight reflection on the cover of the muffler. Now this is already partially loosened, so. And this is a 3mm hex key. But if you use the reflection, you can kind of see where to put the hex key if you don't want to get down on the ground. Okay, so that's that. I think that's everything. Okay, put that up there. Alright, so now we can get to the battery. I'm hoping this is also a 10mm. It's up here. I'm just doing this by feel. Okay, so it is a 10mm. You kind of have to get up underneath there. Okay, and there's a screw for that. Here's the clamp for the battery. Actually, I'll move this out of the way. Put the screw back in there so I know where it goes. Alright, now can we get this battery out? So if I lift up on the cover over the positive terminal, I can see the screw there. Or the nut, bolt, sorry. Let's see if these are also 10mm. Alright, so this is gonna make this easy. I'm gonna start with the ground. So you can see I have like one wire connected here, which is going over to my battery tender. So I crimp the connections, but then I also solder them just in case. I don't know if you can see the solder there, but I don't want to take any chances. So disconnecting the negative terminal. Tuck this out of the way. Now I'm going to disconnect the positive. So this battery is right out of the box. I guess if I read the directions, the parts that are in English, it probably says completely charge it or fully charge it before using. And I probably should, but I'm just going to put it in here and see if it works. Okay. Now here's the positive wire that ran to my battery tender, and of course the terminal that came with the bike. Out of the way. So I can just sit this because it's not going to anything. So if this touches something, it's not a problem. This is considerably heavier. So what I'm going to do so that this battery more closely matches the other battery is I'm going to remove this piece here so the battery will have the same profile or shape. It's in the low 50s right here in southern New Jersey. Let's see if I can put this back in here. I don't know if the screw needs to be here, but I'd rather not leave the hole for any debris or anything to get in. But I'm not sure when I put the battery in whether this will be an obstacle in it closing. So to match up the height, I'm probably going to use 3 of the bigger pieces. Off. Get rid of the small one. Still a little big. Let's try 2. Okay, I'll take off the big one on the bottom. And that looks about right. Okay. So, take the terminal covers off. Remember, whatever battery you get, you want the positive on the right. I just want to test fit this to see if there's going to be an issue with the screw. And no, I don't think there will be. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to leave that kind of loosely sitting there for now. Reconnect the positive. Take that off. I'm also removing this connector here just to see if it's easier. Ooh. So here's one issue. So this mount, there's a bend in it for actually to go around the post on this side, and I do not think there's enough space in there to do that. So I'm gonna have to work on that, try to figure out a solution, and get back to you. Thanks. Okay, here's a problem that I found, which may make you think twice, or maybe I should even say this is not the right battery for your Goldwing, okay? Because you see the battery connector, the way it's turned in right here. There is no space here because this plastic piece comes all the way out to screw this in flush and fit in there. So in order to make this work, you would either have to bend this to use it backwards some kind of way, bend this part flat so it's perfectly straight across, or just cut it off. I guess there's nothing wrong with just cutting that off or whatever, but I really don't want to mess with the bike. So, and me, I'm determined to make this thing fit. So what I'm going to do is, this is hard plastic here. So I'm just going to take off a little bit. I don't know if you can see that. Just take off a little bit of this plastic right here so that it'll fit in just fine. And it's the same issue on the other side. The other thing, I don't know if, so this is the battery without any of the pieces on the bottom to make it taller. So I don't know if you have to have the battery fill this total height, whether you want to store something up there instead, or like I said, you could put the pieces on the bottom to make it taller, and then store something under there. But this way, I think it's easier to work with because all the terminals are lower, except maybe on the right side with the power. It kind of wants to be higher, so maybe it is best to put those in there after all. But I'm gonna go trim this just so I can make this work, and I'll be back. All right, so I already removed one of these posts. I'm going to remove the other. Put the screw back in to keep any debris from going in. And then I'm going to hack up this battery. The good thing about these, you can turn them on the side and it's no big deal. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that, but I cut this back just enough so that the terminal from the bike, the battery connectors will actually fit. And this is solid plastic, so there's no like openings and stuff like that. So I don't see where anything will get into the bike. There's no openings there. All right. All right, so here we are back. So as you probably saw, I made a slight cut on the battery through this plastic right here, just so that I could get these to fit. Because like I was saying, this would not fit. So hopefully now everything will fit. So let's try this again. So like I was saying, maybe this is not maybe, but the price of this was, I think, $177 on Amazon, which is maybe a little cheaper than some of the others that are sold like on Wing Stuff and other places for lithium ion batteries. Now, whether or not you feel like that difference in price is worth, you having to cut the battery like this into the plastic to get it to fit, That's totally up to you. Personally, if I had known that, I wouldn't have bought this. I would have went with a different brand, but since I already have it and I'm doing this video to show everybody, you know, how things go together, I figured I'd make sure I make it work, or do the least damage possible to make it work, just in case anyone else decides, you know, to use it. Or if it turns out to be a really, really great battery, works really well, and turns out to be an excellent value for the price. Now you might want to put some, if you have dielectric grease, you might want to put some of that on in between. Between this post and the battery connector. Just snugging these up a little bit. And did I mention it's cold out here? It started out being like mid-50s, but I think the temperatures are dropping. And then the sun is behind the clouds one minute, and then it's out. Can't make up its mind. So side note, I was watching this movie. It was on Apple TV, Apple Plus. It was called The Year the Earth Changed, which might be interesting watching if you're interested. It was funny because it talked about the changes in the climate and animal behavior because of the shutdowns of COVID. Alright, so I decided to use the bolts from the old battery because they're a little bit longer, since I have the additional connector for my battery tender. So trying to get this started is a bit difficult, but once you get it, should be good to go. Problem is, this wire is on the wrong side. So let's do a take two of that. Get the wire on that side. Okay. Start to screw in. I mean the bolt, I guess. Let's see. Just a little short, so yeah, I'll go back. I had taken off the 12 millimeter, but putting it back on there now. Okay, so there's a 12 and a 15 on there. I got my positive side connected. So I'll tighten it down with the 10 millimeter socket, which was hiding from me momentarily. and snug. And I'm trying to pull down this protective covering as much as possible. But again, because of the way this is set up, there really wasn't much space to do that. Okay, now for the ground. Same thing. I'm going to use the longer screw from the or bolt from the old battery. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to put this piece back here, and okay, so now I'm going to put this this holder in so I can get it in here. And I can find a screw. And don't mistake this with the screw that holds the silver cover piece on. Okay, so that's it. So the rest of this is just putting it back together. Just do everything in reverse order. Okay. Two pop rivets. So I call them pop rivets. Okay. Put these two back. Actually, it's there, but I'm gonna try to pry up the one tab. So I guess I did a good job of crushing it to get it out. Here we go. There we go. All right. Get that out. And that's it. Tuck in the charge cable. And let's see if it wants to turn over. So there you have it. I mean, it starts right up real quick, no hesitation. Like I said, though, I don't know if this battery is for you because you have to trim it just a little bit, those plastic pieces, in order to get it to fit. But other than that, everything went relatively smoothly. I did have a couple hiccups with the extra connector that I have for my battery tender, but I guess that's to be expected. Anyway, that's it for me. Thanks for watching.